Well, since we have a brief bit of sunshine, since now we're in the Alaskan perpetual rain, figured I'd sit out here and work on this, straightening this fender up a little bit. I need it to bolt it to the inner fender that I'm working on straightening, but to get this curve right and everything. And of course the curve isn't right on this fender, but it's easy to tell if it's right or wrong with this lip. It should stay straight and not all wrinkled up. So I'm working on this. I'm learning the finer points of metal bumping instead of metal wailing. Seeing some of the videos on YouTube have been quite helpful. Trevor in England and another guy, I just started watching him, something Customs, Rod Customs or something like that, spelt with a K. Young guy there who seems to be very good and explaining what he's doing. So I'm trying to implement some of these things since I'm a mechanic. I'm not a body man, but I'm attempting to play one on TV. Somebody tried to straighten this fender and has created a bad crease, so I hope I can get it out. Well, I got to bring out the little heavier artillery. There's a, and if you can see it, there's a fold right here where I've obviously been hitting the front and buckled, and somebody tried to beat it out and it started to fold it over, so I'm going to try to unfold that using my method. Whether it'll work or not, I don't know, but I'll give it a try. I gotta get a punch instead of a chisel. Yeah, what do you think so far? I've pretty much got it worked out pretty well. What I did was clamped a piece of heavy strap steel back there to give me an anvil, basically. And I had to straighten the edge. Still needs a little bit more straightening, but you can see down in there, but it's pretty damn close, getting close. And considering how rippled up it was, it's the edge is starting to come out now. And these, I know when there's little wrinkles and bumps here, that means it's not straight. So there's still a little wowie here. I got to do that, but first I had to get this kind of worked out. And I think I got it pretty good. I got to bump it back out a little bit now that I've got it straightened out. But yeah, all these fenders, every one of them seems like they've been hit at one time or another. Hell, they're my age or older. So, but this one's in real good shape. No rust to speak of. Just a little bit of damage up here, which I should be able to handle. But I need this fender to be relatively straight, at least on the mounting flanges, so I can use it to help me straighten out the inner fender well. Or later. Yep, it's pretty straight. I think I got a good curvature all the way around now, and still needs a little bit of work in through here a little bit, but just minor. The big thing was this wrinkle up here, which I pretty much, got it really pretty ironed out. But I noticed it's got some pretty good pitting right there. I may have to put in some patch panels. I really wouldn't like. I was hoping not to, but that's pretty pitted, pretty heavy. But now the fender. I mean, other than that, it's a really nice fender. Some bit of damage in the front here, but it's going to clean up pretty good. I just trying to learn how to be a panel beater. So at least I should be able to use it now for fitment. Or later. Well, this is the fender was pounding on earlier and adjusting and tweaking, and even though it wasn't very badly damaged, but it was definitely damaged. Been hit in the front at one time. And I got it pretty close. It's still going to need some more tweaking, but at least it lines up pretty nice. And been working on these areas here where the headlight dimples were for the later car, and it was wrecked, so it's dented here, and same over here. So I'm honing my skills on how to work on something like that. And pretty soon I'll do a little heat shrinking and pulling it together. But I wanted to get this fender on there. The fender will help support the inner fender while I'm pounding and smoothing on it. So I brought that fender down from the attic and discovered it had a little more damage than I thought. But I still see looks like it's maybe a little, like it needs to be pushed over here in. It doesn't look quite right. I got the latest straight edge across it. I guess it looks like it's about right here, but here it looks like it's, when it got hit, it pushed it out. So I'm going to have to figure out how to true that up. Doesn't look like much, but it's definitely out right here, about from here to here. Figure out how I'm gonna pull that back over, but everything else is lining up there. Man, I see I'm going to end up bolting this thing together and taking it apart, and bolting it together and taking it apart, and bolting it together and taking it apart. That's why I've got my Yukon jack here. I need a drink in my Canadian Yukon cup. Seems appropriate. But boy, steep learning curve for me, since I'm not really a panel beater. But I guess I will be by the time I get done with this car. The car may be small, but there's just every bit as much work involved. And no roof. It's a convertible. But trying to do a really nice job. But so far I seem to be doing pretty good. Going to be a lot of patchwork in it too. A lot of repairs like here, and I'm going to have to end up cutting that out and welding in a new piece of metal, and I think several other locations. And for some reason these holes are proper here, they're round. Over here you can't see them right now, the fender's in place, but somebody slotted them. So I'm going to have to repair that, so it can go back together properly. Yeah, fixing other people's repairs, so to speak. Well, anyway, it's in the garage at least for a little while, and start in on some more metal work finally, because weather's turning fast outdoors. Well, we're going to be snowing here soon enough. It's been pouring down rain virtually relentlessly. I'm going to start building an ark if it keeps up. Or later. Okay, rigged myself up a little pulling jig, I guess you could call it. I bolted a piece of square stock in here and bolted the fender on, and I've this spot right here that's not straight up and down. Try to pull it with this ratchet strap and just hopefully pull right here to pull this fender back up and down. But it's just right in this spot right here. I don't know how it's going to work. Well, it looks pretty good if it'll stay when I release it. That's the whole thing. I made this little plate here to put in there to spread the load out. Yeah, man. Where's my straight edge? Stuff ain't where I left it. You can lose stuff in such a small shop. Pretty good. Might have to pull it. Of course, there's no holes up here to pull. But it's a whole bunch better than it was. Yeah, right where this somebody screwed a mirror onto here, I'm going to weld up those holes. Like a little off there. rest of it's looking better. At least the Mark 1 eyeball says it's better. Alright, more later. Well, got the other wing on. And it fits, sorta. As this hand-built car is rearing its ugly head, you know, things don't line up just absolutely perfect. Even getting the damn bolts in the holes don't line up. So modifications are going to happen. That side, that inner fender will have been slotted, probably from this very same problem. This one hasn't, but this fender isn't from this outer wing isn't from this inner fender. So this is from the old race car. That wing is from this side. This one has very little rust to repair, but a lot of other problems. That one has that somebody else's repair, which is failing, which needs to be redone. But the rest of the fender's in better shape. So 6 one way, half a dozen the other. I'm going to take that one off, see if this one fits better, and make a determination which one I'm going to use. This one's fitting pretty good. I've pretty much got it lined up and stuff. At least until I start putting the hood, the doors, and the cowl back on it to see if anything really does line up to this fender. Boy, this is going to be a exercise in futility after a while, I think, trying to fit everything so it looks decent. I know it can be done, it's just I may have to walk away from it after a while when things start to be in a pain. Anyway, I'll get this other fender on and take a look at it. Well, there's the other wing on it. Definitely fits better. But it's got some damage too. Well, they didn't even bother trying to knock the dents out. They just bondoed it. And well, you saw the damage down there. They got to be repaired. I also see it's got right here. This whole piece is rusted on the edge, so this has got to be replaced. But the holes line up, and the curvature's nice. And overall, this one had a mirror. I don't know if that mirror hole. This car never had wing mirrors. The fenders didn't have holes for them, so the only mirror the guy was having was the one on the dash. I don't know if the mirrors were dealer added or what, but this wing had something screwed to it. It looked like it might have been a blue dot, you know, racing mirror maybe. But originally it looks like it never had a mirror. The race car fender sitting back there never had a mirror. So I don't know. Hole seems kind of large for a mirror, but I'll probably repair the hole and then decide when I finally get that far what I'm going to do for mirrors, if I'm going to put wing mirrors on it or not. But I'm going to keep working on this fender and that other fender and kind of see how they come along, because they both have their good and bad points. It's almost flip of a coin of which one to use. Yeah, there's going to be some weld repair there and up there, but at least everything seems to line up. Of course, this fender was bolted to this inner fender originally, so things fit. So I don't know. 6 one way, half done the other. I'm probably going to end up putting the nose on it too, even though my nose is pretty damaged. And see how it fits. I guess I'm going to be kind of fitting things even now, even though I don't have a complete body or chassis. I got the chassis is okay, but the body's in 3 giant pieces. So I guess I'm going to end up fitting and working on this piece, then this piece, and then the tail piece. And in the middle, there's brand new outer rails and brand new floor pans, so that should be pretty straightforward, I would think. But yeah, this is an odd way to go about the project, but it's the direction it seems to be taking. So, more later.